Trendsetter, I got style for you. Ain't seen you at the top, it's been a while for you. Big you up and they look down on you. Take one loss, no one's around for you. I won't stop, no, 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 no. I won't stop, I won't stop. I won't stop, no, 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 no. I won't stop, I won't stop. Ooh, never panic. Get a worry, send it up in an advantage. Yeah, I can't stand it. Out of order way you move and see you scrambling. On offense, no defense. Still strong, no weakness. Used to say I wouldn't beat this. Now they wish they could beat this. Tables set, now tables turn. Guys playing, don't say a word. Know the price, cause I know my worth. My time, get what I deserve. Trendsetter, I got style for you. Ain't seen you at the top, it's been a while for you. Big you up and they look down on you. Take one loss, no one's around for you. I won't stop, no, 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 no. I won't stop, I won't stop. I won't stop, no, 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 no. I won't stop, I won't stop. Trendsetter, I got style for you. Ain't seen you at the top, it's been a while for you. Big you up and they look down on you. Take one loss, no one's around for you. I won't stop, no, 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 no. I won't stop, I won't stop. I won't stop, no, 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 no. I won't stop, I won't stop. Yeah. I'm so handsome. All in Carmine's with my Benzo, I'm so fancy.
Well, good afternoon, guys. We can start a minute or two early. I'm down here. I'm getting warmed up, a little loose. Just played my first event, sitting in first, so that's good. We're going to play a couple of these, and then, like I said, we want to go into some testing of some things. The main thing we want to compare today, and what we're going to use the testing for, is one, if miles per hour is exactly linear with the distance that you get. And for this, we're going to test carry distance, right? Because we can get setups where we've got almost no wind, but we can't tell exactly how a bounce is going to affect. And that's stuff that you can adjust for every time you see it, but the carry distance should be pretty exact every time we do it. So we'll get a carry distance down with a club, and then we're going to hit it with different speeds. Now, the reason why this test is going to be a little more unique is because we're going with theoretical. We're going to make it have pullbacks of dead straight, and we're going to also make it have forward swings of dead straight. Now, we know that any little bits of cut on top of that will affect your distance and bring it down some, and it's not nearly as dramatic as we all once thought it was, but we can get theoretical distances, and then you'll apply those theoreticals to when you're hitting, knowing that you're never actually hitting a ball dead straight, and you're going to lose a little distance off the 180. All right, so, but let's get a couple of games of events. And Mike Kenny, how you doing, buddy? I gotta say, I do have to be more cognizant about getting my mail on time. Almost everywhere in Iowa, your mailboxes are all in one section where you got, it's like a public mailbox thing. It's like so we can have lazy-ass postal workers. Daryl Dare, you're not included in that if you're here. We're not calling you the lazy-ass postal worker, just every other person that you work with. So I got in the mail, and Mike Kenny had a wonderful card for me, a Get Well Better card. And guys, I know we all feel a little weird sending stuff out or being that way towards people. That maybe, Mike and I have known each other, met each other quite a few times. But man, the amount of well wishes I've gotten during my time here, it's been fantastic. It makes me feel good. Yeah, I'm an attention hog, and I love it. But we'll play some events, though. We'll play a couple more of these to get loosened up, and then we can go into it. I did double up on my pain meds today, so I might be a little verbose. But rather that than to be in pain, right? Now, one of the things I noticed for the back surgery stuff, or the neck surgery, back surgery, whatever, I call it spine's back. Okay, cool. I honestly thought I'd be thumbing everything. Dude, thumbing might be worse than hitting the ball. And I have my speeds are all over the place on my thumbs, where I could have told you right now, this one's going to be between 83 and 87 every time I can hit it in that distance. Dude, I'll hit it 78 one, 92 the next. It just no feel there quite yet. I've been going against chushing this because it just fucks me every time, but this has to be a chush. We're going to go with the high T3 and backspin just because I want the extra height. Now, one of my problems with chushing is that I'm always at 35 or 36 miles per hour. If I try to go up distances or up miles per hour on the chush, which on a shot like this, a higher mile per hour chush is probably beneficial. But when I go up higher, I spray it definitely. With this, a 3-wood, the right distance for me here would be a 5-wood high tee, but the uphill causes it to hit in the grass first, and then it doesn't always bounce up. So I've been having to go up clubs on this, and this still has the same issue, but the pin isn't right. It's got enough green to bounce through, so this should work, but we'll try it. And that's my biggest problem right there. Now, I'm at 36. If I hit that at 40, it's no problem. Or if I hit the 5-wood at 40, but then I'm not accurate. But at least we didn't fuck it up too bad. Hey, Josh, how you doing, bud? No, well, since these are with the exact theory of a chush there, no, an iron wouldn't work. Your goal with the chush is to hit at the minimum miles per hour. And at the minimum miles per hour, you're at best looking at maybe 20% of the club distance, right? It's at 35 miles per hour. Now, in iron would work as a straight chip, but then I'm not getting the benefit of a chush. And really, the benefit of the chush is eliminating all variables such as left to right and your pullback. So, yeah, you could go up clubs, but then it's not technically really a chush, so to say. But yeah, oh, that's not good. Does that come back? Well, there's some shit I have not seen before. the sad thing is this might end up working out. I might get points on an eagle. But, yeah, we ended up about 290 yards that way in a tree. And they dropped us up next to the green. Let's see if we can make it pay for such poor drop there. Ah, we did not. But we'll take the birdie. That was a little bit weird. And Corey aced one again, which I've noticed he's doing quite a bit. He's just good at shushing, I'm saying. Let's see if we can ace this, though. Ah, we're right there. Yeah, it landed in a branch. Yes, it absolutely did. We don't see that too often. Now, on top of the back stuff, which seems to be what's dramatically worse for me right now is I have you know when you get water in your ear and you get that muffled sound? I've gone in twice now because I could have sworn I had an ear infection. And it's just not getting any better. I just can't. I got no hearing in my right ear now. It was like muffled the last few days, so I'm going back in tomorrow, and I got a feeling I'll be moving to ear, nose, and throat rather than my primary care. It's not that weird. It's happened. There's a few times it can happen. Now, honestly, on a shot like that, shit, that might even be better. If that got around the tree, it's perfect. But it didn't look like it was going to either. All right, so this has been, like I said, one of my worst holes in the history of GoldenTeeTV. I'm just no good at this one. I've gotten relegated myself to having a longer putt, which on this one, it always like these baby right ones or left ones, and those are my worst putts. So you combine my worst shot with my worst style of putting, and I end up being in a bad spot. Ricky Bobby, long time no see, my man. How you doing, sir? I agree, the trophy husband stuff, it's very hard to do, and I think we do it better than we have to. God, I honestly thought I would gain a lot of weight. I didn't realize that after the spine surgery, my appetite is just gone, dude. Like, I think I've lost another 15 pounds. Like, I think when I got the surgery done, I was close to 240, and I think I weighed in today at 228. Dude, it's gross. I don't like this. I mean, part of my whole thing is being big. And now if I'm not big, I can't let fear get you. Fear isn't going to let me win matches and tournaments anymore. That's not good. All right. Yeah, some of these alerts from the streams just don't work, and I do apologize. I wish there was something I could do. Why, thank you, sir. I appreciate that, Caesar, but it's weird for me, man. Hey, Phil. Oh, yeah, I did have it done. That's why the brace is on, man. We ended up having 2 discs removed, replaced with, you know, whatever they put in the bone fragments, and then fused, you fused 5, 6, and 7. It was originally going to be 1 vertebrae, but when she got in there, she said the second one just shot the hell off. Yeah, you made me jump into a couple last night that I just kept DNFing. All right, so we're 1 off. We got to catch these guys here. Let's get them. Oh, come on. And that's one of the things. Hey, Brett, no problem. Hey, anytime, bud. You know, you could just reach out directly, man. I got answers to a lot of things that I should or should not have. All right, 268. Yep, they use donor boner. Donor boner. I like that better. All right, so we're going to be aggressive on this one. I'm going to go at this. This distance feels really good. If I max this out, I'm flying it. If I hit it less than 125, I'm going to be short. So we want to be about 135 here is my guess. Actually, the 123 will work. I'll take it. We're happy with that. Yeah, it's getting better, Phil. It hasn't really fixed the issues that I was having. It definitely needed to be done, but question is it going to be all that I need? I hope so. I don't think so, though. Oh, that's just... Oh, no, we're fine. The pin's on the right. We're just going to put this to the fat of the green. Oh, and I laid off of it like a bitch. What are you doing? And then that's dirt. We don't want to put that again. Understand. How do we want to attack this? This is awfully close. So if we play this club as technically we're knocking 10 out, it's 231 with an outwind to 6. That should be too long. Let's just hit this. Man up on it a little bit with bite. Maybe get this thing to trickle down, but we're really playing it so safe there. We're not going over the edge. No, to my understanding, there's no real physical therapy behind it, man. But we will. The neck brace, they said, comes off at 4 weeks, and we are at 2 weeks tomorrow. Okay, cool. That's awesome. I am having some nerve issues still, and that was the original problem that we were facing. Dear God, the one time I lay off of it, and I bragged about this club, but I laid off it too much, trying to be cute. Now we're in trouble. There's not really a way through here. We're going to play to get lucky. And we're not going to get lucky. This is bad. We're in trouble. We're in deep shit. But yeah, there might be, I mean, they're probably not telling me everything quite yet, but obviously, I'm going to do what they tell me to do. Maybe, if I agree. All right, not the best performance there. I think I'm going to be about ready to start accepting all sorts of invites left and right. Let's see if we can put a better performance up here. I will say this, my consistency is so far off like this right now. It feels bad. Like, I DNF'd more of these events than I have even when we're playing a weekly event lately. Dream. I did have a Rhineland request too, and I don't remember if I've played one in a while. I don't think I have. Oh, I appreciate it, my man. Oh, I'll make sure Kevin gets that. Kevin, I'm on Kevin's pay no mind list lately for some reason. He's just busy, I'm sure. Now, is that going to carry too far? It is. That is absolutely going too long. So we'll cut it in. Try to get it to spin back toward the hole. Did we? Oh, we did. We did. That's a good start. Trust me, Brett. They take care of me pretty well, so I can't really argue with it. You guys have been awesome as viewers and people part of the show, so that's great too. They recognize it, guys. Adam and Kevin definitely recognize shit like this. So I do think we got the right people at the helm right now, and we put them. They've been in a bad spot, right? It's been a tough spot. I laid off of that, didn't I? Okay, thank God. I don't want to have that hit the rock and leave me an impossibly long putt. But along with that, Brett, there are a lot of others that are going to be out there helping. Brad Lutz is always on top of these posts too. And he's even, technically, he and Richard Newman are probably the two most technically best at with the machines. If they could play Golden Tee a little bit, they'd be right there. Unfortunately, they're not the best players, but they know the ins and outs pretty goddamn well. This is all I want on this hole. I mean, really as far left as possible, but when we're that far back, you don't really have much choice. So now we can just hit a fullish type wood coming in and stick it. Now, we're not in the optimum place to try to do it. This new ball he made, honestly, it feels like the best material of any trackball I've ever touched. It's awesome. Yes, I will play. Jill's working, man. I got to let her. She's got to work late now, too, because since I can't drive, she has to take me to the VA in the morning. Actually, let's high tee this. Now, the roll should actually turn this ball backwards. Beautiful. So that's one thing you got to realize when you're having these really, you got really downhill shots with a really high lofted club. If we think about the arc, just think about it this way. The ball is landing straight down rather than moving forward. So when you have roll or release on it, all it's doing is letting it bounce straight up one time. And then it's going to follow the break of the green almost to a T. So it works out like a charm on shots like that. It very well might be, and in fact, what Justin said he does, he's got like an LED disc or LED lights, and he just puts underneath on the black landing able, the black little landing area right under the deck, which then you don't get the heat on the ball, which was the biggest problem with any of those LED balls. Caesar, listen there. I'm explaining that one there. So since the ball was not moving forward when it landed, it actually was pushing the other way when it landed. So that roll just makes it move better. No, it's tobacco. Well, guys, I have a total of 12,000 points. That means we've made a total of 120 yards of shots so far. It's a little bit of luck, but that's not a good shot at all. Good thing I hit it so soft. Ugh. Be close to you. And you got to learn that. Those are those things like... there's a lot of holes like that. It's why if you noticed on hole 18, Jamie... it's not... I don't have allergies to anything, but I think I had the start of a sinus infection when I actually went in for the surgery, and I think it just exasperated a little. I think just an antibiotic will make it happen. But maybe I mean, I'll bring up allergies as a possibility tomorrow, so I do appreciate it. Thanks for checking in, Jamie. Oh, God. See, now I'm going to lose one of those right back. Well, maybe not. We might be able to rip this in. When I'm chipping off of paths like this, I'm going to be a little bit higher on my pullback and hit them a little harder. And I don't have that touch in me at all right now. And I just can't get that fine-tuned shit. Hi, Bryn. Yeah, the low T got... I almost wish I had a 4-iron in my bag, and I kind of probably could on this. When I do my 3 driver bags like I do for the events, that's the club I drop. I drop the 4-iron in favor of one of the extra drivers. Now it's weird too because up until recently I didn't have a 4-iron in my bag, so it's one that I don't nearly need as much. But it's so useful for that in between because a low T 9 wood is technically longer than a 4-iron still, so it's a little bit touchier on the distance. Jamie, are you getting excited to go kick every woman's ass down there in Florida and show them what the Pacific Northwest is all about? This is a hole that carries quite a bit, so we're gonna overhit this a little bit, but you wouldn't think that for an extra 30 yards I'd need any spin. But that was at 127, and it was still about the right distance. So it's a little bit, these miles per hour per distance. I have a feeling that we're going to see a pretty direct relationship between the distance and the miles per hour. And I want to see what's causing any dramatic changes in it. It's really the basic premise of everything I want to do today. Now, guys, with the numbers that we come up with today, keep them in the back of your mind, but still, you got to play Golden Tee as a feel game. You can't just sit here and make it analytical on everything, because there's too many things that we don't have control of the variables on. But if we can make it so that we have the least amount of variables, we get ourselves the best chance. Yeah, we made one. All right, we're ready. Why, thank you, Brett. It is a classic. I do agree. Where I'm at, the Orlando tournament is on a most likely no list. It could happen, but I don't want to push myself, especially with flying. But I will definitely be in St. Louis. That's just too good of a drive for me. I'll probably get my neighbor to come with, and then we'll have a great time. So he can proceed to start winning more matches than me at tournaments, as per usual. Thanks, Crit. Now, where that pin is, this is an ugly look. Do we want to put this go for the green on a fly? And I think we can here, because I want to overhit the 10.5, so I want to hit this one solid. I don't think I'm flying it with this. The bigger problem would be being short, I'd say. God damn it, I was wrong, and I didn't mean to hit that maxed out, and I did. So that was just a smooth swing that I got a hold of a little bit too much. Well, that sucks. Hey, Rob, how you doing, bud? Now we've turned a couple better into crap. All right, pins on the left. Let's get this ball pins on the right. Let's get this ball way left so we have the least amount of trees to go through. Yeah, that's great. We got a line. We don't have much to worry about. We're in dirt. I'm gonna take away any chance of a pullback. Now, when you're in goofy, hey Jeff, how you doing, sir? When you're into the goofy surfaces, know that when you mishit a straight shot, that you're gonna have a more dramatic effect of loss of distance. So, if you can play up a club and hit a thumb chopper or no pullback shot, you can actually get your distances dialed in from those surfaces and have them be pretty specific from there. And you always got to trust what it says on the surface. Like, if it says dirt, even though it doesn't look like dirt, like it looks like fairway, but it says dirt, it's dirt. You can always be sure, turn left or right and switch clubs once at a time and see if the surface changes. But that really only happens when it's on surfaces that got goofy programming to it. Like the surfaces on Hidden Temple, those pads, are always a little bit different. Just cut that thing in, let it trickle. We're good. Well, we got half the field covered on this one. That's good. We just got to hope the rest of it does it. Oh, deep grass on the chip. Okay, so deep grass is the most affecting type of rough. That one came around, I believe it was not Heather Point. What's the other one that's like Highland Greens? Deep grass was first realized, and that was the first course we saw it on. Now, since then, it has popped up on other courses, which I think is a little bit of a database problem with them, but I don't know the inner workings as much as I pretend to. But deep grass is like, I mean, I double the swing on it, like when I'm chipping. And I play them as rockets coming out, because it's very rare that you have them roll over. So now this is going to go back to where we were talking about the trajectory coming in. I want, on this hole, I want to have a thumb 8.5 driver in. Because it's my lowest trajectory club from these distances, and then I can still play it to bounce forward when it lands. When you start getting down to other clubs, you could start having it go, well, that first bounce bounces straight up, and now it's taking the backspin only. Now, I put it a little too close for what I wanted. But we got the pin up deep, so we're not going to have any issues here. Except I can't thumb straight. Is that going to hit the right wall? No. Yuck. We're happy with it. 29, we're happy. One off. That's good. Not a dream setup either. All right, so now anybody watching, I did just make a pretty basic Excel, just with some stuff that just so we can record here. I'm gonna share it out to the chat if anybody feels like entering these numbers while we're doing it. It's really basic, but I think it's all the data that we need for it. So I'll put the link in the chat here. And I got to close this out and reboot the chat on the laptop. So that's just a link to, it's just an Excel file. It's got nothing in it yet except for I labeled some columns there. Hey, Chad, is that Iowa Chad or is that? Okay, absolutely. I'm going to make it, like I said, I want to make it a point. So please, if you want to get around it, please get up to me. I love playing with everybody. I want to get every chance to do that. So yes, Rick, you're absolutely there. Now, okay, Chad, so it's hard to tell based off of the pictures there. I can't see it very well in the little thing on next to my chat. So hi, Chad. Hi, Texas Chad. Now, can we thumb this with a low T and have this be soft enough? I just don't think so. So we're going to go here. We're going to play just a baby cut on it. Now, when we play a baby cut on something like a low T G wedge, got to remember that it doesn't cut very much at all. Oh, Neil. Hi, buddy. Oh, come on. Oh, cool. I saw the picture. See, I'm gonna do the test a little bit different though, Chad, because I mean we're gonna do it with no pullback. We're gonna do it with the roller turned off, so that we can actually get. That's twice I've hit that. I hadn't hit that before. All right, it gave me the, and I want you guys to be cognizant of this. It gave me a 10.5. What that tells me, since there's no obstacles in front of me except the hill, what it's telling me is that if I hit this shot right now with the way it's at, it will not hit the obstacle in front of me. If it thought it was going to hit the obstacle, it would have given me like this and given me a club like this. Now, this can change if you're already on your shortest club. Let's say it's a G wedge. Well, it's always going to give me a G wedge because that's my lowest club. But right now, I'm pretty positive that the 10.5 is not hitting anything. So if I pull back and man up on this, with backspin especially, which is going to make it go higher than what the game has with no spin. So I'm not worried about hitting anything. I'm just worried about this getting there. And out of the rough, I should be able to get this there no problem. And it's a really good trick. Occasionally, once in a while, you'll have a shot where it gives you no spin, doesn't hit anything, but when you put roll on it or put backspin on it, it changes the height. The one that I always have it happen on is that playground hole on Palm, I believe it is, because that playground hole, it can give you the 3-wood to go straight through it, aiming at the pin, but I need to backspin a 3-wood. So then that backspin makes it go slightly higher and it hits the crossbar on the swing set. So it's those things you got to be wary of when you're hitting. And it's those little tricks that it'll just make the game so much easier and take a lot of the risk out of things that you're doing. Now, is that theory 100% perfect? Gosh, I haven't had it hit anything when using the club that it gave me, when using it in the spin and the fashion that it's doing it. But if I tried to play a full cut, if I tried to backspin or roll something, yeah, it has hit things where I'm telling myself that it's not going to hit. So it gave me this. If I hit this with no backspin, those trees aren't in play. And I'm kind of agreeing it's not in play anyway. That was bad thumbing. Bad thumbing. Bad thumbing. Let's see if I can save this, though. I cannot fucking make a short chip. It just doesn't feel right. But that's okay. Yeah, see, this is bad because I want to low T thumb this with roll. I got to low T thumb it with bite, though. Because the 9-wood is just a little hotter than it says it is. So, bam. And we're not going to say it again, but we know this is one of my worst holes. I am so happy with that shot. I'd like to think I'm better now than I was when that course came out, so that's good. Light spin this, should be good speed. Didn't like the shot, but using a tee to move it over there wouldn't have helped me out much at all, so why waste the tee? Pins down at the bottom middle. That's fine. The forward should be great here. We're going to backspin it still, though. And the forward's way over. That's good. I'm glad I backspun that, because that thing would have definitely trickled off. Even though we know the backspin on a high tee doesn't do much, definitely does a bit. At least slows it down by the time it gets to like a fringe, and it'll stop it from rolling through it. Pouring them in today. We're good. Moisture's accumulated. Oh. All right, we're gonna get aggressive here. I got a pretty solid lead, so let's get aggressive. I sprayed it. That just didn't come off my thumbs right. That was not aggressive. That was very weak. But like I said, my most inconsistent thing all of a sudden is my thumbs and my short chipping. That's not new. That's always been bad. Oh, God, 6 inches. I am not cutting it for anyone. Just a little bit. All right, can we get up the far right side? Nope, too deep, too deep. We're not getting it past that tree line. So we're going to do the same thing we did last time. We're just going to nuke this up in here. I've been hitting that tree solid so many times on that, and I'm aiming at it, which is a good thing, right? If I'm hitting what I'm aiming at, that's a plus. It just isn't what I want there. You wanna go? God, I don't like this. I hate when you baby cut this 6 into a wind. This thing's going to be dramatically short. So we're going to do it with the 5. Baby cut it. I'm going to throw it pretty dramatically right. I'm not going to hit it hard. I want it to check back and possibly hit the rock wall that's right in the corner in front of the green, because that angle will make it bounce forward and it won't have enough juice to get into the water or over the back edge. And I hit it way too soft. Now, am I good? It should be good. I think I can putt this straight. Oh, no, we got a left 2, even better. Whew, got a little lucky there. I was obviously too soft on that. Pretty much the full 9. You're always over everything. All right, so we got the same pin there. We hit it too close last time, but we got 653. So if we hit this 320, I'm probably right where I want it. 330 is fine too. So we got 320 in. I'm gonna drop this down to this, and we're just gonna baby flip this. Actually, I liked the 10.5 last time. Let's do it again. And I sprayed it. That's not good. This is where the thumbs they're just not doing good for me right now. Now I'm really happy that I dropped it down because I think the 9.5 would have landed up another 10 yards and I would have had an issue with hitting that wall. It hits the wall there, I'm in trouble. I would stop playing this event right now, but we're kind of doing well, so let's keep it going. And then we can get into the testing part, but we got a couple hours ahead of us here. I think the wife said she's staying at work a little late, so that's good. For her, not really. For me, not really either. I think her and I are downloading Tiny Tina's Wonderlands tonight, and we're going to play the hell out of that. Hey, Robert, how you doing, sir? I'm doing okay. It's so... Okay, so last time the 3-wood was a little short. Let's try the 10.5. Same thing, right? You see how I'm short? So, but if I was hitting that at 40, like a lot of people do their chushing at, then that's going to land, the bounce is going to land another 3 yards farther, and you're going to have every chance to get there. Well, I'm going to say, Bama, I've had some bad days, but yeah, part of it is, I mean, we played a shit ton of games. I mean, gosh, do I want to just high tee and flip this? Let's see. I just don't know if I have the sauce on my thumbs. No, that was the pretty good speed, pretty good line. Yeah, see, that's the one thing with your numbers, Chad. I just can't. Look, the thing that we control is where and how far up the ball will land, right? That's fucking crazy. That ball went way out. Okay, so that's going to hit multiple trees, so going right at it through the branches is an option. We're going to try this. It was kind of what I was afraid of. Yeah, it didn't turn enough because I had to push it a little left. Not a good idea to try. Yeah, not a good start. We're going to be off now. We're going to be off a few. And that was an easy look. It just hung right on me there. All right, let's go low T roll. Because this one, I'm going to want it to bounce forward no matter what. It might still not, but this one might land and not go forward at all. No, we got it to go forward. And that was the right shot. A release probably bounces straight up. It doesn't move forward too much, but we didn't have any wind in our face. So that would have been a touchy one. It could have gone either way, depending on how hard I was hitting it. But that whole thing about it not going forward when you land, so you'll see me sometimes, I'll even low tee a shot that should distance-wise not be there, but I use the roll to make up for the distance that I'm losing by low teeing it, and therefore the trajectory has the ball bouncing forward when it lands, so I get the roll on it too. Yeah, and honestly, I want to, Chad, part of the test that we're going to do is we're going to see if there is a number that, I mean, like, is it low T is 1.2 times, like medium T is 1.2 times higher than a low T. So we'll see that. We're going to see that pretty quick, I think, with the numbers. But basically, we're going to chart off a bunch of different speeds of hitting a club and see if the numbers line up with the miles per hour, or if it's parabolic and it's got some different formula to it. And if it turns out to be parabolic, which I don't think it is, I think it's going to be pretty directly related. Like that. What the fuck, dude? That just doesn't feel right when I'm doing it even. How do you miss that? And how am I only one stroke down on this pile? God, that's... I don't believe in failure. And there's got to be some clubs that I bet we see a more dramatic effect in the distance per mile per hour with just because we backspun it or rolled it. But we'll take a look at it. It's all just looking. And then hopefully with the wisdom of the crowd here, we start using, everybody comes up with, there's some sort of question that comes up that will allow us to have a better test moving forward. So it's good to have others. Doing this alone just is there me solidifying my beliefs. I don't have anything else to maybe test that would prove me totally wrong. So my hypothesis is that we will see a direct correlation, a linear relationship between miles per hour and the distance it lands, and that's going to be on shots of the same shot type. So let's say a 5-wood high tee will have the same linear relationship between that, no matter whether if we pull back or not. That's my theory here, and we're going to quickly, easily prove or disprove that. And we're going, obviously, like I said, by carry distance, guys. And really, the carry distance is really what we really want to be cognizant of when we're playing the game. It's very rare we're worried about how far a ball runs out to, but you can kind of have that, you can have that done really fast just by looking at it. The one we need to do is make sure that we're in a landing position. Okay, when I get a message from Dave Crawford, oh shit. All right, so Dave's got some numbers down here. Okay, oh, that's yours, Chad. I thought that said Dave Crawford. God damn it, that's you, Chad. I got you. Okay, so that's going to be stuff you'll have to adjust for in your mind now, because we don't have. There is no elevation that we can tell by, like right now, I have no number that tells me if I'm above or below the hole. So I don't want that to be a factor in it, because we're never going to have an accurate reading for it. So we're going to eliminate that by having the shot in the same exact position every time, by using mulligans and casual. And that way we'll have theoreticals. Obviously, you're going to have to do some implication of these theoreticals into real-world gameplay, but that data might be something that's useful to a lot of people. Oh my God, it hit the pin. Now here, you want something to blow your mind? A player like Haas or Luna, I bet they have no idea. So we're looking at stuff that doesn't really matter to become great. But it might help the learning curve to go from being good to being very good. And that's really the focus we've been having this all the time. Ah, there it is, Chris. But that's been the focus of the show. Look, you're not learning anything here that's going to take you from being very good to being the best player in the world. It's really for the people in the 20 to 25 range or even less that taking these kind of... Yeah, he doesn't. Luna is like... I picture Luna as Ricky Bobby getting interviewed after his first race, where he's like, I don't know what to do with my hands. That's Luna to me. And to be quite shocked, other than JoJo, I would reckon to believe that most top players have no idea the stuff that we're talking about. Right. Which is scary, because if Luna got analytical, and Haas is pretty analytical, I'll say that. I think he has his analytics based off of his feel more. And through the amount of games that he has, his feel's pretty much analytics. If you really get down to it, the amount of games that they play, yeah, Stenmark is on a whole different level. All right, we're gonna lay into this. I didn't get it there. That's good. We had a shit game anyway. So let's take a look at some of these testings that we want to do. All right, so for this, we're going to play straight casual. Reminder, if anybody does this in actual live play, you will get banned from playing. There's no two ways about it, so don't fucking do it. Also, I know what I'm doing with the trackball. If you're messing with it like this, there's a chance you can make contact with something and short out your optical board, or even worse, short out an IO board. So for the layman's, if you're ever fucking around with stuff like this at home, unplug your trackball before you're doing it. But we're not going to do it yet. We got to get something set up. So we'll set up a 4-player game. For the purpose of testing, we're going to use stouts, mainly because we're getting rid of the wind, and that's what we want to do. We want to get rid of that variable. I'm thinking a very flat course to start. I mean, we could easily go like Falcon Sands. I like on hole 1. I think that's like pretty damn level the whole way through. So we'll start there. Unless I see another one here first that comes up. Great Wall, but isn't that down? No, Great Wall 1 should be good too. Yeah, we can use Great Wall. So if anybody wants to poke in, if somebody's in that Excel and wants to fill these out while I'm doing it, I can do it myself too. All right, we're going to go all males, even though it doesn't matter. Let's get us all set up on a set of clubs. That is the same, so let's go select clubs. Champ 20. It's going to take 2 starts. And we'll get a good relationship. I don't think we're going to have to go through every club in general. Yeah, we'll go with the champ. No, let's go with the champ. The one with the 8.5 drivers. Let's like champ 20. 3 wood, 5 wood. How about that one? Even though that one's we don't need all those extra woods, but it'll be a nice test between the 8 and the 9 if we need to. And then we're going to select balls and we're going to play stouts. All right, so we got that one done. Return to game, skip turns. So we went equipment, champ 20, select balls, stouts. I didn't even see what the wind was like on this. Did we look? Oh, that's perfect. The one wind is almost 0. It's half of 1, so it's a 0.5. This is a great. We got a good starting point here. All right, we got that. Skip turns, mail, equipment setup. Let's go to select clubs, that, and select balls there. All right, last one. We're going to get player 4 set up, and then we can go. Equipment setup. All right, there we go. We got everything set up. So we'll start with the 8.5 first, since I don't have to do anything. It's going to give us the 8.5. So let's just we'll get with medium T. We'll do no spin, medium T on this first one. We're going to hit a maxed out driver with no pullback, maxed out driver with a pullback. And then we're going to see where we're at and start the testing from then. So we're going to do no spin, no change in tee height, just maxed out straight drivers here. Now, the thing I need you guys for is it's going to be hard for me to catch this, but we want to know where the ball lands. We don't care about the rollout distance. So we're going to have to do it. Now, we'll be able to back up on the recording if we need to, but landing distance. 142 dead straight, and that ball is going to land at, it looked like 340, pretty close. Let's see if the replay gives us it again. 340, 339, something like that. Somebody can get pretty accurate with that, but we're going to just say 8.5, 310, tee height, medium, spin, none, miles per hour, 142. Carry distance, we're going 340. All right, good. So we got those down. So this one, let's go with the no pullback test on this one and just max it out like that and see what it is. This should read 123, and then we'll get 123, and it's going to be dead straight. 315 looked like. I'm thinking 315. If somebody got a better number there. And you know what? Let's do this, and I'm going to make one more category for pullback. none. 123. And then we get 315. That looked pretty darn good. All right, so now we can actually let's take a relationship of these two here. So we'll do 340 divided by 142. By 142 equals that. So it's about roughly 2.39. 2.39 in that scenario. Let's see if it changes on the 123. And actually, you know what? Why don't I just do a formula here? MPH. And it is what equals. We're going to do E1 divided by D2. Oh, no, it's... Perfect. All right, so I got a formula there. There we go. Hi, Jason. We've been missing you, buddy. Now we want to drag that down. Okay, so those two are not, they do not correlate as evenly as we think it is. Huh, it's already a little off. So it goes down, it's at a 2.56 yards per mile per hour with no pullback in a 123. Now here's where we're going to get tricky with this, right? Let's go medium T, and we're going to try to start hitting different distances with pullbacks and no pullback, all right? So we've got this one set up. We could just go pullback, and we're going to lay off it a little bit. 136, perfect. So we got 136. I didn't see the carry distance. If somebody catches that, that'd be great. Yeah, somebody got it. Yeah, it's going to be hard. We're going to try to get to that. We're going to get as close as possible. But really, the relationship between the two numbers should give us a good example. What was the carry distance there? 333? That would actually make sense. That's probably about right. But let's see. Let's see if somebody got something that they're pretty accurate on. But we're going to just keep testing these like this. Oh, no backspin. Did I put backspin on that last one? I don't remember. All right, so we got 332. I don't remember if I backspun that or not. If somebody's looking at the video or rewinding, go ahead and let me know if there was. 118. God damn it, I keep recording these and forgetting to look at the carry distance. Did we get it here? And we're going to we got to mulligan all these now. .308, 309, okay. Okay, so this is actually, there's not a direct correlation of these numbers. If we're looking at the spreadsheet now, yards per mile per hour seems to go down with the max hitting it. So you're not gaining it directly. It seems like it's going down. Let's hit one here with no spin. 309 you got there? Okay, 308. Let's go 309. That was 118. Okay, good. This is interesting. All right, let's see if we can get closer to 123. Now, even comparing the 123, it definitely seems like you're... Yeah, as long as it's close, we're going to see. But if we're watching these numbers, the yards per miles per hour go up per number that you hit. So, okay, let's just hit one here at like 50. Okay, 64. 180, I'd say. Yeah, it's going up every time. It's not. It's a translucent ball. I don't have any lighting for it, but it was one of the new ones that Justin made. And this material is actually fantastic for a ball. All right, let's mulligan back and take a look-see here. Let's go. What is the next one? What other ones can we do to actually start doing this? Let's see if we can get a pullback right to 123 or real close to see if the distance is. So we had a 118 go 309. Guys, just by a peripheral view of it, I'm going to say if I could hit a ball 123 with a pullback, it's going to be the exact carry distance as a 123 with no pullback. 106. We'll just keep recording them, though. And let's get a replay. $297. Yeah, see, Ben, that's exactly what I was thinking, but it doesn't seem like it changes. So, I mean, by the relationships that we're going at here, if somebody else wants to jump into the Excel and start recording these while we're doing it, it would allow me to go faster. We can pull a bunch of numbers on. Yeah, 297 is what I got. And Ben, that was what one of my predictions was, is that it would be different with pullback and no pullback, but it doesn't seem like it is. 115, we're getting closer. Now, although I already have a 118, these are good. It's more numbers are always better to have. $310? No, it can't be 310, could it? Gosh, how can we get a 123 309? We're going to make that one because we said 309, 308 for the other one. So we're going to just naturally assume that that was 308. Yeah, see, the 118 number I think is wrong because that one's kind of falling outside of our charting here. Yeah, it's real consistent. So let's go back a ball again. Let's see what we got. Oh, we're at the tee. But we're going to try to get this with a pullback. Well, we're going by so this is Mike. One of the things I want to stop us from doing. Okay, well, the bigger number with the ball rolling out, it's going to change the relationship by trajectory based off club. So really, I'm doing this totally based off a carry distance. I don't want to know the total because that total could be totally changed depending on flatness of surface, what surface you're hitting into. In fact, we should have just teed off on Dodge 1, and I would tee everything off dead into the dirt because then we don't get any bounce out of it. It just plugs. And then we would have an accurate carry distance, which actually, you know what? That's a hell of a better idea than this. We don't really care about the rollout distance, so let's find something we can nuke full speed into something that doesn't jump, that doesn't move forward. Then we can have these distances will be, it's easy to pick up. Now, based off the numbers we're seeing so far, though, it doesn't seem to be. Oh, okay, I got you. It doesn't seem like pullback changes your distance at all, which. That flies, I mean, obviously the max. So you're getting 19 miles per hour extra. And if you add that 19 miles per hour at, let's say, I mean, roughly 2.5 yards per mile per hour, is that ball going to land 30 yards short? Or, I'm sorry, 50 yards short. And it's not exact that. No, it's 25 yards. So it's obviously that this isn't a total linear representation. Is there anything on this that we're going to... Oh, I did one player. The thing I really want to see, though, is I want to get a ball to go 123 with a pullback and one without it. That's the key. That'll be the number. That's going to be the easiest thing we can match up with Tester. We'll go 18. And we could say hole 1 of Dodge. I can just land it in the mud or dirt, right? Any of these other ones better? Oh, of course we gotta go the other way. Is there any better ones here? So we're going to have almost a negligible amount of bounce forward on this. We got to go through this all again. The testing's kind of hard in this regard. Yeah, true. I agree. But you would think, though, that the amount of extra height that you're getting with it would be pretty dramatic. And that this would be a good one to actually see if those things matter. But in theory, you're right. The height should be different. So these balls should be traveling different based off the height, which is, I think that's why that number, that relationship isn't directly linear, is because we have different heights on these, each shot that we're hitting. Pullback and no pullback. But that's also something we should look at here when we're hitting it. The closer we get to it, let's see what the height looks like on some of these. All right, so I can just... I'm going to skip turns because I did a baby turn on it, so we might be landing in a different spot. But the 10.5 will be a good one to look at too. JPS jokes? What are JPS? Oh, like my spreadsheet jokes? Aren't they TPS jokes? TPS spreadsheets and shit? You would think so, right? All right, we got those two done. Mail. Select balls. We gotta go stouts. Select clubs. Champ 20. Good. Return to game. Skip turn one time. Bam. Equipment. Balls. Stouts. And that last one was pretty perfect. Oh, shit. My God, dude. That's that. We got stouts. We got that. Good. We can start on player 4. Okay. All right, so that's out in the dirt. So we did these with no tee. We did these with no backspin. With pullback, yes, pullback, no pullback. Let's see if we try to get one that lands. Let's just re-get these numbers to see if we were right. So we'll max one out. No pullback, maxed out. 123. We're at 313, it looks like. I want to do it one more time for good measure here. Yeah, 313. 123. 313. No. Now, this also could be changing too based off of... So it's kind of not fair to have these numbers in the same field. So I actually... Let's just go ahead and get rid of all of those other ones that we've had so far. So we got 123, 313, no pullback. Okay, good. All right, so we got that one done. Let's do it with a pullback and get a baseline for this as well. I mean, yeah, with a pullback. Okay, why is that offset? Oh, you know what? I didn't fucking pull the cord. Yeah, hey, forget these. These are off because I didn't do these dead straight, which is rare. Yeah, I gotta drop this. I gotta get these things back to the start. See, these are where you guys are supposed to catch this shit. You know, that's why you guys are here. Okay, we're good. No, we got one more out there. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so now we're going to get rid of this bad boy. We're going to do no pullback. 123. We're landing at 313. Good. I must have hit that one pretty damn close and straight. No pullback. Let's just do these first four with no. We're gonna do these first four with the first four with no pullbacks, just to have them all. All right, 109. I didn't catch it. It looked like 30. It looked like 298, but well, I forgot both numbers there. I think it was 103. You guys got to get us here. No, I was wrong. So what was there? All right, so we had 298. What was my swing number though? And what was that last one? $104, 293. Okay, I got that. That's good. And the first one was it 113? I typed 103, but I think it was 113. But let's just get another one baseline here. We'll just throw it. 95. 95, 284. $108? Okay, good. Okay, so, all right, so what we're finding is that this is an arc where it's not a straight line. It's got a factor into it because as the lower the miles per hour go, the higher the number of miles per hour per yard. That's kind of interesting. So they are not directly correlated, but is there a formula that we can find out that is exactly right? Is that necessary? I mean, it's pretty clear, though. We're getting, I mean, it's going up pretty dramatically. So there's going to be a formula we'll be able to write for this to figure out what the variable it's multiplying by. Unless it's so advanced that none of us are that good with writing an algorithm, which I know I'm not. I mean, like, I know how to say the word and spell it, but when it comes to using it and applying it in scenarios, I have no fucking idea. Yes, higher carry per yard based on less speed. So now the test here is going to be seeing, and that's with no pullback on any of those. So we did 4 players with no pullback. Okay, so we're going to get one maxed out. We've got the, so we'll max it out. 142 maxed out. 337 is kind of what I got there. Yeah, see, like your miles per yard on the pullback ones are lower, but that's also, I mean, your yards per mile per hour are definitely lower as you go up higher. I'm going to skip that turn because I did that touch thing where it moved it just a little bit. Okay, so now we're going to do one here. We'll pull back and we're just going to start getting less distance. Yeah. 142. 100% it was 142. Well, it's not a power cord to the ball, so to say. It's one of the 6 pins is power. I don't know which one it is for power. It's probably the red and the black is ground. I mean, if we're going... But if we're looking here, the one that I am just pulling the 4-pin plug that's going to the optic board here on the bottom one. The power it's one of the lines coming in, and I'm assuming it's black and red because there's a black and red on both. Yeah, I got you, Brett. All right, so now we'll just do it less. 133 and 124.25. I mean, 324.25. 133. Yeah, it's definitely, you get more yards per mile. It's crazy. I didn't honestly think we'd see this. God damn it, I did it again. All right, so we want to even go slower. 119. 309, I'm going to say. All right, now how does that 119 compare to the 123 with no? And guys, it's that I don't think the pullback, I think it just peripherally here, I don't think the pullback is doing anything but adding speed to the shot and adding a higher max. I don't think it's changing distance whatsoever. Yeah, exactly. So the carry, yeah, and that would make sense too, that your carry's going to be higher, and then yeah, oh yeah, the carry distance should go, I mean, it should go, well, no, that number's going to be, the ratio between it's going to be higher, but it's going to be a lower number because you're going to, obviously, the less forward trajectory per yard, it's going to change. And that's why I said this is going to be fully club based. You can't have, this number isn't going to be consistent throughout. Oh, we got to get one more in here. Let's go. Let's try to hit this one like 100. 108. That works. 108, 296. Yeah, okay, so everything there, though, it's following it exactly. It's following it pretty, I mean, it's following every club exactly. Let's just, for habit's sake, let's see if I could try to get one at 123 with a pullback so we can absolutely be exactly sure, but it seems to me that miles per hour is the only thing that's influencing yardage. Pullback does not. Now, I bet we're going to see different results with backspin. 111, not going to cut it. We're going to hit a couple of these to see if we can get to 123. All right, mulligan. We'll just keep hitting a couple of these to see how close I can get to 123. And then, obviously, it's going to be hard to get exactly perfect, but we're almost to the point where we're already certain that we're right, that miles per hour are miles per hour. It doesn't matter if I got to that mile per hour with a pullback or without. Now, in the real world function, though, it's going to be a huge difference because it is impossible or almost nearly impossible to have a dead straight pullback matched up with a dead straight forward swing. So your numbers are going to be less than this incrementally. It's going to have a smaller percentage. It's just a question of, but you'll just have to get used to ranges. Just know what your max is and say, okay, if I miss the 180, I'm going to land 5 yards short. So I've got a range of landing this ball between 350 and 345. Now, if you have stuff behind you, you're going to want to pretend like you're maxing it out. If you're trying to get over something, you're going to take the low number so you know for your risk to reward to calculate it correctly. I mean, obviously, people are going to, you'll have to apply these kind of things. So, in the end, these numbers might not even really be useful. The one I want to check, though, next is the spin with backspin on it and see if it's changing our numbers dramatically. But let's try to get this one to close to 123 as we can. 121, I can't, that's got to be pretty damn close. So that was like 309 at 121, something like that. That one we want to get really precise with this one. So if somebody pulls that one through. $119, we're real close on this number. This is going to be 309, right? I'm not even going to put in 109 or 119. Oh no, that was 121. So did anybody get the exact distance on the 121? I'm gonna say that it was probably, we're probably right at 309, 310 would be my guess. Okay, good. All right, so let's try again for 121. Nope. But 117, 305. 309. Okay, good. That's what I got. Yeah, based off of what we're seeing here, even if they are slightly off, it is negligible. Whether a pullback will change distance or not, all the pullback is doing is giving you the ability to hit it further. I think we can all agree so far that that's what we're seeing. Let's do the same test now and do these with backspin. So really, for future testing, we're not even going to need to know. We're not even going to need to say pullback or not. That miles per hour just tells us for certain how far the ball's going to carry. That's it. That tells us exactly how far the ball's going to carry. Oh, that's crazy. I just still find it funny that at the lower miles per hour, the more yardage you're getting. So that's why, like, if I mishit a ball, almost no difference in. I'm trying to think of what applications this is applying to. All right, let's mulligan this. Let's do 4 pullbacks maxed out and then different distances below. But this time with backspin and see what the difference is. Because we know backspin, now we don't even need to text backspin and release because we know that they both, in the game, thinks it goes to the same height with those. So we're not going to have any difference in there. We can obviously test it, though, just to be certain. Why am I going into select clubs? We want to skip turn, mulligan. Now, we're going to just take a random club after this and start comparing that random club just so we can be certain that we're seeing the same results depending on the club. And we only have a 4 crosswind, so that shouldn't really be changing. This is actually another good setup that won't affect testing much. I do like us that we're going into the dirt, though, because we can now only be off by 3 yards because it's only moving 3 yards after it lands. Okay, so we're back on the tee. We're going to do the same thing with pullback on it. I mean, with pullback and backspin. So we're going to do medium tee height, but these are going to be all backspin. All right, so max it out. We all have the theory that this is going to go further. And guess what? Is that 337 at 142 with backspin? I mean, that's pretty damn close to 337, which is the exact distance that the other one went. Yeah, okay. This flies in the theory face of all of us right now, because I bet every one of us thought this was going to go further. But that's exact. Just for shits and giggles. Roll. Okay, roll definitely lowered it, but backspin didn't make it go higher. Okay, that is so strange to me that to me couldn't be the truth. I can't imagine that's happening. That doesn't make sense to me. Does that make any sense, right? That didn't make any sense whatsoever. Yeah, definitely less. I might have even been less than that. I'm thinking I'm almost going to just off the total knock 3 yards. Bite shouldn't be any different than backspin in theory because we've already tested that bite and backspin go the same height, but let's just see. This one should end up at 340, and we're going to say 337. How could bite... I got to skip. Let's hit this one more. Hey, Adam. Well, I think we can all agree, and I hope the group chimes in here, that pullback does nothing but add more miles per hour. It doesn't change your total distance at all. So based off the relationship we're seeing, we haven't had one be dead even with 123 with no pullback. Let's do this. Let's do this one again with bite. 142, dead straight. And that's 1 yard less than... That doesn't make sense. How is that making sense? Correct, except that without the pullback, you can't get it above 123. Backspin, we're going to do this again because those numbers are not, I'm not even recording these, but they're not the same. It's 1 extra yard with backspin compared to, I mean, can we say that this is negligible? Okay, can we say that it's negligible and that the spin is just changing the bounce out of this a little bit? I think it's landing in the same spot on all these, and the spin is just changing the distance that it lands. Or that it bounces off of it. Why was release dramatically lower? Why was release dramatically different than... All right, actually, I gotta make sure we're getting these right. Let's mulligan all of these, and let's go through. We'll get recordings and all. We'll get recordings of all the test numbers. Let's get all 4 players back here, because I think that we're getting a little bit of bounce. But if you guys are catching the actual carry distance, because that's really all that we're caring about. I'm missing it a lot of it when I'm looking at this, so your guys' accuracy is going to be a huge benefit here. But so backspin, we had the carry distance at 337. Let's just make sure what we got with a release and a roll, and I got to skip because I turned it wrong. All right, so roll here. Let's see what the carry distance is. Okay, that was 334 with roll. Why do we have a different one? .332 with roll was the carry distance. That makes more sense to me. 142, and you said it was 332, and that was with roll. Okay, so let's do that one more time because that still doesn't really make sense to me, but we'll try with roll. All right, that's identical. Okay, so we're going 332 with a bigger bounce. So that makes sense now to me, right? So 142 and 332. Bite will be 334. Okay, this is actually starting to make a little sense. $334, $335, something like that, right in that range, right? Yeah, we'll go 334. Yeah, and that would make sense because we would all say that backspin. See, I think release should be lower than the. I just want mulligan these back. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Oh, we'll go release. I mean, that was 333, 334 again. I think it looked like releasing. What the fuck? This doesn't make any sense to me. 1, 2, 3. All right, release. Yeah, 333, 334, something like that. I'm gonna say 330, 33. And that would make sense because release should have a lower yards for carry distance. It should have a lower yards per carry distance. But, I mean, the basic premise here, guys, backspin's definitely increasing yours. Let's see, did we have bite on there? I can't imagine backspin's relationship giving it an extra. Now, obviously, we could be like, it could be 333.5, and the release, and then we were flat at 337. So I bet the relationships are the same. So these numbers are actually adding up. Backspin's 337, roll 332, bite 334, release is 333. That all makes absolute sense. Yeah, that the nothing being the same as backspin though doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Let's do one more with nothing and see if we're off a little bit. That looked to be the same. How is that? Did we catch an accurate number there with backspin? I mean, with no spin? All right, we'll try it one more time, see if I can catch it too. Yeah, okay. I think we had the number wrong on the first one, but with none, we'll call none. None is probably closer to 336. And that would be, it's probably 335 to 3. Yeah, that makes more sense. That makes perfectly more sense. All right, so nothing. So we're saying backspin will have the highest, which is okay. Yeah, I put it as 336 there. I think we were on the low end of before 337. It's real close there, but that would make sense if it was 1 yard less about. But so we're seeing right now with no tees or anything like this, and we're not really seeing much difference, but it is flying true everything that we thought about. Backspin goes higher, so the carry distance will be farther. It's incrementally. This is almost nothing. Let's try this with a high T, though, and see, because now we're going to have it. It should exasperate these numbers and be a lot different. So we'll do the same thing with high T's. And we should see the difference change quite a bit here. Like, we're going to have a multiplier of the high T making it go. And I bet the relationship to high T compared to standard T is going to be the same. That's my guess here. All right, so now we're going high T maxed. High T. We're going to do no spin. We're going to be 142. All right, we got high T. No spin. We maxed it out. 350, 355 to 356, something like that. We'll say 356. Okay, so we did that one with high T, nothing maxed out. We'll just get a bunch of high T's through here, through them out. Yeah, 355 is what I got down. I put 356, but we'll go with 355. You guys are going to be more accurate than me here. High T. We'll just get 4 different distances with it here with no spin. 131. I didn't see the number. I caught something on the... Follow with the right turn button, hard to pick. Okay, I will. Thank you. That's a good idea. Wait, we don't want backspin. We want high T with no spin. $338. So we're 338 to get there. That was what was my speed? I didn't see what my speed was. I did see it, but I didn't say it. Yeah, we got 342. What was my number, though? What was my speed on the shot? I missed it. Somebody's going to chime in, I'm sure. All right, so we had 342 at 131. Chad, we're just trying to come up to see if there's a positive or negative relationship between miles per hour and distance. The one thing we're really trying to check is to see if the miles per hour with a pullback is the same as without it. So we got 342 and 338, but what's my speed? I didn't see what my MPHs were. 129. Thank you, sir. Yeah, so you have more yards per mile per hour, obviously. Thank you, Jared. All right. Let's just get one more slower one with the high T. 115. 322. I think that was pretty accurate. All right, we got 4 out there. So now let's do the same thing with no pullback and a high T. I'm hoping we see some difference here, but we're not going to. What we're going to find out. Yep, I got a 322 too. Good advice on the button, Tony. That actually does make it a ton easier. Thank you. I don't use those damn cameras enough. I just hit the fucking ball, and I'm typically talking while I'm doing it, so I'm not really following my shots. All right, mulligan. So these ones we're going to do maxed out with no pullback, no spin, and with a high T. All right, so this first one's going to be 123. 331. Yeah, yep. I want to get the no pullback in there just to see. Yeah, I want to go back to that one. I feel like the 115, 123, 331, no, that's about right. Okay, so we want to let's just get a couple of different speeds with this, with the high T with no pullback. I didn't catch the number, but you guys are getting it for me. I appreciate that. So that was 117 and whatever the distance was. Yeah, it really doesn't seem like it is. It really doesn't seem like. I thought that height would have made a big difference. Now, once we get one that lands exactly at 123 with a pullback shot, and we see that it lands the same distance, all right, we got 326. All right, we'll get one more high T, no pullback, no spin. 118. I think we just did a 117. So this is going to be 327. I'm not even looking. All right, it's 327 about. Oh, no, I'm sorry. It should be 328.4 or something like that. I'm sorry. Add 2 yards. Wait, 117, you had 323. I had 117 and 326, Tony. And I bet 118, well, 118 will tell us, what was that number there? Well, I got one more guy to hit. at 100. Good. 307 at 100. Yep. Yeah, this is actually pretty interesting. 100 jumped way up. Yep, 100 equals 307. Perfect. Good. All right, so we'll all get these. Let's try these all with high T's, and then we'll try them all with, with roll. We'll try them all with backspin. I am really happy, though, that we're not seeing any numbers that just don't make sense. It tells me that the code is good, right? Like everything's, I mean, we can make these numbers make sense. They all have a positive relationship to something, and they're all, I mean, we already know. We know. Okay, so this one, we'll do high T backspin. Rick, yeah, the problem is we're still getting a little bounce, but it's not much, and it's a lot easier for us to get it exactly. All right, so this one we're going to do high T's with roll. So let me go here. Yeah. Yeah, wait, what? Oh, so on 100, 3.07 is what it is for high T, not for 142. Because at 142, we had it at, it was like roughly 142, the high T was 2.5 of exactly. And then it goes up at the same percentage the whole way through. All right, so we're going to do this one with, we got 8 tries of roll. We're going to do it with roll, with back, roll at full speed with pullback, and then roll with no pullback. I think after this set of tests with the pullback and non, we don't even have to worry about testing with no pullback because we're already seeing the numbers are identical. 142 with roll. And that was 353, I think it was, about that. 353, I think that's pretty good. Okay, so now I'm going to say that if I do the same shot with backspin, it's going to land at 357. I think if we high T this with backspin, it lands at 357. All right, this one isn't in order, but I bet this is 357. I'm almost going to be positive. $356, $357, right in that range, right? It's right there. Well, so we have the number with no spin and a high T being 355. So if we lost 2 yards on roll, I'm assuming we're going to gain 2 yards with backspin. That's just my guess. Yeah, and we did. That's pretty, this is, okay, so guys, hopefully this is giving you guys smiles inside that the testing doesn't come back and show like there's something totally fucked up and that we've just been not noticing it for years. These numbers are always the same, so this is great. Yeah, 353. Yep, that's what we got down for the roll one. Now, this is great. Okay, so let's try to get one here with the pullback and try to get it really close to 123. As close as I can get to it with backspin. Oh, no, we're doing roll right now. I'm sorry. We're on roll. So we're going to try to get these at 323. 116. 116 is 320, right? You want release? Yeah, we can get to release too. Yeah, release should be It's probably 1 yard more. So we're getting into spots that we're not really able to tell exactly. But if backspin's 2 yards more on your carry distance and roll is 2 yards less on your carry distance, if we're going by it, I'm saying that release should be 1 yard shorter and bite should be 1 yard longer. With an 8.5 driver. Obviously, this is going to change with different clubs. All right, so you're saying release 355. I'm saying 354 with release. It almost was the same, but it's like negligible in there, but slightly longer, but almost exactly the same. I mean, slightly shorter. No, that was 354. That was 354, right? Yeah. So without even testing it, we could say that bite is going to be 356, right? Let's try it. Let's do it. We're going to say that bite puts us at 356. This is actually a little bit enlightening to me, to be honest with you. Bite. Yeah, it was. That was dead nuts 356, guys. 142. Yeah, it was. You know that numbers are your data or collecting data if we can accurately predict the next one after that. That's pretty cool. Okay, so I want to try to get one. I don't care what spin we have on. I really want to see and try a bunch of these to get one at 123 with a pullback, because then I can repeat that over and over again. Let's just try it. Yeah, I am too, but it's really nice to actually have these kind of. All right, so we're gonna try. I don't care. Since we're seeing that the relationship, especially we're on the 8.5 driver right now, right? So we're keeping that the same relationship. The miles per hour relationship with spin is keeping the same relationship based off the club. So this is really what we want to see. So this is actually, I mean, kudos to IT for not having this fucked up. I was really guessing to have one that fucking went forever, and we were going to be like, what the hell's happening here? And then it would have put me down a black rabbit hole. And that wasn't, that sounded funny, but it would have sent me into a black hole where I would not have been coming out all day. But that's really interesting. All right, let's see if we can get one. Josh, the only thing we're required to do, and with the disclaimer, is that we only have one roller connected, so the forward and back is all that's working right now. And like I said, I'm going to give this disclaimer one more time. We are able to test this by disconnecting the roller. One, don't fucking do it during any prize play competition, any invite or anything like that. They have systems in place that they can detect these things in online contests. And there is no room for leeway, right? Tony, there was only one set of tee boxes that it was offset, so it's the one that's the long hole that's offset. So I wonder if it is fixed or not completely. But so that disclaimer one, don't ever do this in any competition type circumstance, because it will be an immediate banning, and there is no toleration for this anymore. Obviously, they're not going to get, if you have it one time, I'm sure nobody's going to notice, because something could happen to a trackball. But if they see a repeated thing on a machine, that machine will get red lighted, you'll be red flagged, and most likely get banned. Two, be careful at doing this on your home machines, because I do not take your responsibility for somebody who happens to touch two connectors that then shorts out their I/O board, and they're now looking for a $300 part that they can't get, and IT, they have to send it in, they're down for a week because IT has to repair it then. So those disclaimers are there, so notice that. So what other things can we do? We can test other clubs, but I'm certain that the relationship's going to be the same. And the other clubs are going to be a lot harder to test, because it's going to give me this club, so I'll have to plug in the roller every time. But I am curious, though, to see. But does that, okay, since release, Yeah, let's look at low. Let's look at low. I mean, I guess we seem the same kind of relationship here. So we're going to do a low T. We're going to do 4 with low T's maxed out. All right, so we'll go low T. All right, so low T. We're gonna just get our maxed out distance with a low T. We got no connect. 142 dead straight. This is gonna be a little harder. 308 is what I'm thinking there, and I'll be sure to. I'm thinking that 142 with a low T carry distance was. I'm thinking 308 is what I got there. Okay, good. We're all the same. Good. 1, 2, 3. Low. Oh, 124. Perfect. Okay. Get that accurate. I didn't catch the distance. I was excited. 124. Yeah, I'll wait for you guys to catch that number. W87. 287 is my guess. Okay. Okay, let's do a no pullback low because we should see almost identical to that last shot. If our theories are correct, that looked like 287 to me. I mean, real close. 288 maybe, 286 in there. I mean, it's right there, right? I mean, it should be, if we're following by the math, 286, a little bit, like right in there, maybe 286. So that's right, 286. Okay, so if that doesn't prove it to anyone else, whether we pull back to get to 123 or we do 123 without a pullback, it's the same damn distance and shot. It's not changing anything in distance. I did, Josh. That was pretty good, dude. All right, so one number that we wanted to see is correct. You can now follow your opponent with your thumb shot. If you see their distances at 90 with the pullback, and you get thumb to 90, you're going to have the exact same shot. I mean, really, exact same result where it lands. Now, I'm going to have to assume that you're getting the exact same heights then, too. I mean, it would have to be, right? You would have to assume that it is. Yeah. And I'm guessing that 124 was the higher end of 287 and that the 286 was the high end of 285 because we're really getting a number of about... It's about 2.3 yards difference per mile per hour in that area with the low T. But okay, so if we're looking at these, right? If we're looking at these in general, if you take yourself at 2.5 miles per hour, 2.5 yards per mile, you're going to be right down the middle of everything. Let's skip back. I really want to test like a higher lofted club to see if we're getting the same kind of number. So most of us all carry a 7-iron. Let's look at like a 7-iron and see what the distances we're getting here. Now, the great thing about hitting a 7 into the dirt is it's not going to bounce hardly at all. So we should not really need to pay that much attention to it. But this is going to take a little bit more time doing the testing. Because I have to unplug the roller, plug it back in, yada, yada, yada. This is honestly, I think we've already got our useful piece of information out of this. Is that the pullback only adds miles per hour? It doesn't add anything except the same equation based off of miles per distance, your yardage per distance, or sorry, your yards per mile per hour. So pullback does not make that increase or decrease. It keeps the same relationship. All right, mulligan this. Do we have one more out there sitting out there? I don't think so. Okay, perfect. Yeah, it will. Okay, so now I got to change clubs. So this is going to be where this is a problem. And let me make another part of this. Okay, so we're going to a different club. Yeah, I think a 7-iron's a good one to start with. Ooh, what did I do here? 7-iron, medium, no spin, none. Sorry, hang on, I'm just fixing this. Yeah, that's pretty close. All right, so now we're down to, we can go to this field, and this is a 7-iron. No spin, no tee height, no spin. We're going to get 142 the first shot, so let's go down here. All right, these are super spin. Won't make a difference because it doesn't change the height. Oh, let's get aimed. All right, we'll go to there. So now we'll pull this bad boy out. All right, so no spin, medium T7. No, that's awesome. 156. Good. Okay. That's easy to tell, right? Yeah, no, it will. When you come back, it'll be set with the original club. So I think we'll try it actually this time, though. We'll try it. I thought about that too, Tony, but I bet, I'm hoping that it doesn't, but no, doesn't work. So we're going to have to do this every time. So we got a 7 now. Now, what do we want? We got medium T, that's right. No spin, that's right. Let's just get some different distances here. And actually, let's just get the 123 distance real quick. And then we'll be able to tell. 146. 123, 146. Okay. All right, there we go there. We'll pull that bad boy out. Okay, so we got 143. So we got it at, we got our baseline for no pullback and pullback. We're just going to do different speeds on the pullback ones now to see if we can get close to 123. 114, not good enough. 114 is 142. Mr. Mine. So what are we actually getting out of this? It's the same kind of relationship. You're getting more yards per miles per hour as you get the lower amount of miles per hour, the more yards per, but it's not that dramatic. Which would make sense why, like, you have an 85 goes to, it's almost the same as an 83, except it's going to be less. Yeah, it's not. So what can we use out of this one here just to see that? I mean, we're seeing the relationship's clearly the same between everything. Do we want to try to see? I'll try to get one as close to 123 as possible. But otherwise, what? Like, we want to see it. We want a high T. All right, let's get a high T one in. We'll max this out with a high T. $171. 171. And that was high. All right, let's do the same thing now. Oh, I meant to mulligan, not skip. Two, 3, 4, 7. We're gonna do this high T with no pullback. $160. How is that right? Wait a minute. Somehow my formula got messed up. Oh. Yeah, these relationships are pretty damn consistent. Really, we should end up plotting all these on a graph and see what the lines look like. But we'll see that it's like this. And what is that? It's parabolic then, right? But what is that curve? What is it? A sine curve? I forget. Somebody better with this who's done it more. I haven't touched stuff like calculus since I was like fucking 17 to 20. High T, no backspin goes further than full normal T. High T, no. Oh, no pullback goes full. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so what? 123 goes 160. Your 7-iron normal goes 156. But that's kind of funny. That's pretty damn close to the same. But we really accomplished that. Now, I shared out. I'm going to share out the spreadsheet again. If anybody else wants to extrapolate off of this, we got. I mean, this data is actually pretty useful. But so we did verify though, and these are the takeaways that I'm taking from this. Backspin will go slightly further. It's not dramatic, but it adds to your carry distance. So if you're really in the position to try to carry something, like get over it, you want backspin on. Now, is that going to be different if we're into a major wind? My answer has to be yes, because we're going to go that the physics of Golden Tee match physics of real life. If I hit something higher into a wind in my face, it will slow down more so than if I hit something lower trajectory into it. Now, how can we test that? Oh, man, that's a little tough without being able to pull up holes or set winds or anything like that. I can't really do an accurate test on that. We just have to know and start working on it in your head as you hit these shots, how much distance, what difference your distance is. And really, the even worse part of it is, you're really only looking at the distances, especially with Stout's wind that would be changing this, on back 9 holes. So it's going to be really hard to test. And most of those holes are ones that you're changing the elevation of the shot. So you're going to have to use this data to adjust your shots accordingly. Like if I'm on a real downhill, something into a wind, it's going to affect that high T. High T is actually going to lose more yardage than your medium T will. It's still not, I don't think there's a scenario with Stouts, maybe 18 on Monty, that you're losing more the high T is causing you to lose more because of the wind in your face and the elevation change than by not high T'ing it or even low T'ing it. And 18 Monte is probably the only one we could really test that on to be certain. Maxing out a low T driver, a medium T driver, a high T full 142. You mean full C straight to 2? What we found before when testing the fulls is that it correlates the same. It's just a little bit different on the distances. But I'm trying to think, what are the useful tests here? I mean, the main one was that we got by doing this was the 123. No pullback miles per hour is the same thing as the miles per hour you get with pullback. So the 19 miles per hour you get on a straight shot added, it directly, high T 142. Oh, we have that one already. High T 142. Did I do it? 142 was 171, Brett. Yeah, that was that number was. We did this all with none, and that was high T. No, we have a no pullback high was 160, and the pullback high was 171. But now we don't even have to equate. Yep. Yeah, Tony's got it. So now we don't even have to. Okay, so guys, for me in tournament play, this is going to help me out a ton. Because I was always adjusting. If my opponent pulled back and hit a shot, and they pulled back and hit it straight, let's say they hit it 100, I was doing a calculation based off of how hard I would hit it, that I thought that it was going further because of a pullback at 100. Yeah, the full medium was 156, 157, and then the full high we have at 171. Huh. But knowing that the miles per hour is the miles per hour is the miles per hour, I really don't even have to see how my opponent hit his shot. I can just fucking walk up and see the numbers, and I know everything now. That's really it. I know everything about a shot now from hitting, just looking after they hit it. I don't have to see shit on the trackball. I know exactly what they did now. That's awesome. Rolling on me, I got plenty in my pocket. All right, I think that's a lot for one day. We're gonna save this here. Like I said, I might break these down and put just a post on word of mouth with the different spreadsheets that I've made with it, just so you guys can take a look at it. It sucks though because I never go through and finish a spreadsheet, because once I see that the data is pointing all one way and pointing towards one way, like really I would have stopped this after the driver, because we can now reasonably predict and very accurately at that what a shot's going to do by just seeing the numbers. It's pretty much, that's it. It's pretty much it, you know. The other thing we could test really is to see how much difference the roll, the low T, high T, roll, release, backspin is. I'm going to guess that we're going to see something very similar. Let's do a high T. Let's just do the high T 7-iron, backspin straight and roll straight. It really does. And honestly, and this is all stouts too. The other thing we could try to calculate is yards per mile per hour of wind. But that would be non-stout, and that's something that really, that's going to be all field to me. I mean, I generally equate it 2 miles per hour for every 1 mile per hour of wind. And it's pretty close. It's probably a little less than 2 miles per hour. And obviously, once again, that number is going to change based on what club you're using. I mean, is the number really height compared to height? But we would never be able to get that reading to actually use it. But let's see what the high T is. Let's see what high T 7-irons look like. All right, put this back in. Now, the other thing, too, the way I'm disconnecting that roller is really not a good idea. is really not a good idea to do it but I have so many extra wiring harnesses around. If I accidentally pull a wire through the connector, I'll just grab another harness. You guys might not have that, so I'd feel bad if you did something like that, but I'm also making it certain that I'm not touching anything but that. All right, so what we want to look at is this one with high. Let's just do we'll do high T backspin as a comparison. Now, what we're seeing though, we have no wind with us or against us. So what we should see here, and my guess is with the 7 that we're going to gain 3 yards in carry distance. All right, we got backspin, high T. So if we're following this right, and based off of this, I'm going to guess this lands 173 to 174. $174. I'll go with that. No, it's only 1 mile per hour extra on that. So backspin gave us 1. Yeah, and I want to say, Tony, that everyone else has been doing it wrong. We've been equating for total distance, and that's not even a right way to do it because we can't judge the bounces on any surface. Just a ball landing 1 yard short on a surface could change the bounce to bounce 5 yards fuller. So the carry distance is the only thing accurate. We can only determine where the ball lands with no variables. So that only gained us 1 yard with the high T. Backspin gained us 1 yard, right? So we're gonna, I mean, as you get down lower with it, the lower the club, I mean, it's negligible. I mean, really, it's really negligible. Oh, I got you with the wind. Yeah. And really, wind should be really easy if we did this all based off of stock. There should be an equation based off of the factors on the ball. I mean, really, grabbers and stock should be the same as all the other balls but stouts with how the wind affects it. It really should. It's going to get negligible because the height, because we're seeing that height does affect it, but it's like we said there, that was only 1 yard for a high T7 iron. High 7. That was backspin. Oh no, wait, that was high T none. Okay, so we got 7 high, and that was 142, and that was 172. Whoa, that's not a 172. Hey, why didn't I get an equation for that? Exactly, and everything else. Okay, so I mean, if we're just thinking about real physics, we're playing real golf. This is kind of ringing true to and how physics we kind of define it. Obviously, there's probably variables that we're missing in here, but in general, I think we're covering everything. We've basically made everything equal, but I mean, a couple of small non-existent factors really that won't really change it enough to us noticing. Let's just go here. If we do this same shot. Let's do the 7 iron high T with roll. And let's see. So based off of everything else, the 7 high T with roll. God damn. Oh, I did change it. Good. The 7 high T with roll. This ball should land at 170. Right? It should land at 170. I mean, roll, right? Yeah, it's going to be 169 or 170. It's right there. Okay, that's fucking weird. Wow. Okay, so with... Oh, okay, so now we're hitting the part where that... At this height... At that height, you're actually losing. Now that this kind of makes sense, though, because now that we have such a height, Yeah, but okay, so let's think about this, right? This goes into what I was talking about during the events, right? When you're hitting a ball so high, it's finished its forward part of the, so you got the apex, and it's now, by the time it's coming down, it's coming straight down, right? No, it's coming straight down if I high tee that with backspin. Just that lower distance, move the apex farther. The apex is a yard or two farther higher. Like you're getting the apex at a farther higher, and you're not getting the ball to come straight down at the end. It's still moving it forward a little bit. It's amazing that just a little bit of roll did that. But now we got to test this again. Does that make sense? So there's an area in there where this is actually brings up too, like you think of Monty. They do, don't they? But now if we're looking at stuff like, this is going to get way too advanced. This is be something way, where is the apex at its max that you're getting the max amount of distance than a height? So does this mean at 8-iron, 9-iron, pitching wedge, all of those that if you lower the trajectory, they go farther? So we can test this. What if we do a 7-iron low? Hang on, we're going to talk to Jill real quick. Well, hello, beautiful wife. How are you doing this evening? We are streaming live. You're on my headphones, so they can't hear you, but they can hear me talking to you. Jill, I'm not doing that tonight. No, I'm not letting you put those things in my butt. Stop. No, we're not doing that again, Jill. That was a one-time thing, okay? All right. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry about that, everybody. What's going on? You're at the gas station? I thought you were going to stay late. Okay, well, get home and you don't have to be over me then. We'll see you soon. I love you too. Bye. All right, so back to it. Does that mean we can actually... Did we hit a low T 7-iron yet? There's going to be a club that the low T goes further than the medium T or the high T, I bet. Okay, this is actually going to be kind of interesting. Let's go to the lowest lofted club we've got in our bag. I mean, the highest lofted club we got in our bag. This is interesting. I'm not even worried about the heights because, Tony, we've already proved that the height meter's wrong because the height meter says that bite and backspin go the same height. But if that was the case, if they both went the same height, then they should land the same exact distance with the same miles per hour. And what we found is it's a yard difference in there. So we know that bite goes slightly lower than backspin does. We know that for a fact now that the height meter, even though it says the same, so I don't want to use the height meter at all because I'm telling you right now that height meter is inaccurate. Just now we've just proven that. Right? Because for the 8.5 driver test, the heights are the same at bite and backspin, yet still there was a difference in distance. It has to be the fact that one of them is going higher than the other. Let's try this, though. We got a sand wedge. And for this one, I'm not even going to turn directionally. All right, so correct. And there's going to be a point, depending on wind, that this will happen. And this goes into what I was saying there, too. Like, I told you guys that if the ace I hit in the events on, it was the back nine of Moose Landing, I think, short par 3. This goes into why you'll have sometimes where I'll hit roll on a shot and it comes down the up 10 of a green. And that's because that ball is landing straight up and down with trajectory. It doesn't have enough spin to make it move forward, so it's getting a bounce, and now it's playing the break of the green. But okay, so we'll do a couple tests on these. So let's do these with high tees and see. So we got a sand wedge. We're gonna hit it straight. We're gonna go from here. We're gonna go high tee, and we'll go no spin first. 85 on the button. All right, so we got sand wedge, high. That was with no spin, right? Yep. 142, and that was 85. All right, mulligan, right? So, in this scenario, I have a feeling that both roll and backspin will go further than the no spin on this, and the roll is going to be the furthest. That's my prediction here. So we go here, we set the tee, we go high. We're going to hit this with roll. Now, by everything else, based off of clubs, that this would be the lowest carry distance, but I bet it's the highest one with this club. It was 85 on the last one. 88. Okay, so now we're going to do a high tee backspin. And I'm going to guess that with backspin, it's going to be 1 yard longer than it was because we barely have any wind, but it is a little bit out. So I'm guessing it's going to go just a little bit farther, if not almost exactly the same. All right, so we got that. We high tee this, and this is, oh no, we did high tee roll. Oh, we're doing backspin now. Okay, good. So this is backspin. It's going to be 85 to 86 is my opinion, but like we see, we got a little bit of outwind, but we'll see. Almost identical, but a little bit longer. Real close. It was 85 on the nuts. I mean, it was almost on the nuts. It landed at, it was exactly 85. This was just at the high end of 85. So with no tee and backspin on a sand wedge, we can assume that with no wind, they're the same distance exactly. That's crazy though, right? So where is this that release? Okay, yeah, so release we should assume is halfway in between the two if the correlation's exact. Right? And let's do it. That's a good one. Let's see. Now, if this was more of an outwind, when is the outwind there? This is going to make the sand wedge, like these lower wedges, the toughest things to adjust. All right, so we're going to do release here. High tee release. All right, so based off of this, we'll call that, we're going to call that 85 as well on that. Yeah, so release, we should be saying 86 to 87, right? This should be 86 to 87. This is kind of crazy, but it's playing correct. Okay, so that was almost the same as roll. So does that tell us that roll and release, it was a little less than roll, because that was almost the same as roll, though, but a little bit less. Yeah, so we're going to say 87 there. This is pretty interesting stuff, though. Now, I know it's maybe not to everybody else, but it's changing the way that I'm thinking about these. And I would say bite is actually going to be negligible between backspin. You know, Brett, I know I'm with you exactly because, you know, you just never equated this extra variable that's in there, that how long, so how can I draw something? But ball flight is an exact curve like this, right? It goes forward more and then dies out and comes straighter down. So the higher the loft. So now we're just changing it to have that curve be like this and then come down. And then it's coming down moving forward. It all makes dead perfect sense though, doesn't it? This actually makes sense. How can we use this though? Now, having data is great, but how do we use this to make us better players is what we really got to think about here. Because honestly, I don't know if there's a time in Golden Tee that I'm worried about if 1.5 yard distance or 2 yard distance on something in the 80 yard range, right? That just coming into being more precise with holdouts, and that's where feel's going to come in. What we use this for, though, the numbers that we're getting are really good to equate risk to reward factors on shots. Like, and that's why carry distance to me is so much more important. Knowing the rollout distance and how it rolls out, that's more important for hitting holeouts. It's rare that you're using that rollout, that distance after the fact, to do anything but make the ball go in the hole. So that's where the feel part's going to come in. But if we can guarantee ourselves, like, okay, if I high tee this 7-iron here, I cannot be anywhere but on the green. Well, guess what? Now I can just fucking hit that. I don't have to, I can be drunk, I can be sober. Yeah, that's the thing, though. When we're looking at that furthest carry, the roll, when it hits when you're going at a surface, man, you're going to totally change your shot altogether there. That's why the carry distance is the biggest part of this. I don't know, this is pretty interesting here. I'm going to share out I'll share out the data again. I don't know who we've got that's great with Excel, but if somebody wants to pretty this up, I'm all for it. It's very interesting shit, though. Well, let's play a game or two, guys. But that's what I'm using there. It's got all the information. If I left something blank, it's none or medium, or we use the same club. And now here's the next question: what club is the first club that, with no wind and on a level surface, that the trajectory of changing it from roll to backspin is the roll actually giving you farther carry distance? When does that happen? And I think we found it. I think we're looking at the 7-iron and about that height, because we saw it. The 7 was the first one that saw it. 5, I know, doesn't really do it at all. So that height at the 7, the 8, the 9, and below, I think that grouping of clubs, you're always going to have this factor to look into. Like, okay, roll on this high tee shot actually gives me more carry distance. Well, it's not much. An extra 3 yards of carry distance could mean something in there, you know? It's pretty interesting. That's pretty wild, guys. Thanks for being a part of that test. That did a lot in my head. And it's nice to know that nothing's always the same. It changes all over the place. Huh. Very unique. Very good stuff. Thank you. I'm glad that we took the time and did that. All right, so I'm not going to chush this. We know we can win, but we're dumb enough to try. I shouldn't have backed it up that much. God damn it. It hit the pin, though. We're gonna go. We're off to see the world. We don't need nothing. Yeah, I'm thinking the 7's probably the right club. And now this actually does something. So I've always gone by club groupings, right? I always have the 7, the 8, the 9, and the pitching wedge is one group of club. I had the 6, the 5, and the 4 is a group of clubs. I had the 3, the 2, and the 1 is a group of clubs. Now you could do, but so in a way, subliminally, I'd already figured this out, because the way I grouped it, that those 3 play similar, right? And that, I mean, that 7 plays very similar to the 9. I'm guessing we'd see almost exact results. It's kind of cool, though, that I actually have something now to back it up. Oh, I gotta go. Huh, this is unique shit. Now, Brett, the reason I knew that about your trackball is because Andrew Russell bought the machine, the extra machine I had here, and he needed to replace the trackball. Well, I sent him the link from Hap, and he ordered it. And he's like, wow, dude, this thing feels so fucking different. I'm like, really? And then I looked, I gave him the link to the high ball one, not the high lip one. And it looked like yours. Where you gonna go? We're off to see the world. Yeah, so that one there, that's really cool. So, oh my God. I just read that backwards. I'm so dumb, dude. Who misses that? Ah, we'll still win it. We're going to get this anyway. We're going to get them. This is the hole I was talking about. Like, when does it change? Well, this is one of the holes that the distance changing is actually, it's a good one to know. Day I die. Now, am I naturally thinking about the distance that we just did? No, I'm just using feel for most of these because I know I'm getting an in my head. I'm already doing this calculations in my head, but I'm not doing it as precise as the numbers that we got. So take that with what you will. Just use that. You don't have to be so dead on nuts with those numbers. Just as long as you understand the relationship to how you're hitting the ball, it'll be fine for your skills improving. You want me, want it, man walking tonight. No, that's great. No, dude, it's not. Trust me. The one thing he did say, though, he said he was hitting 158s and on all of his C3s and shots like that. Now, the thing that I want you guys to realize with cuts, yeah, you have a slight distance reduction for being offset, but the distance reduction is more because you're changing the ball flight. It's not the shortest distance between 2 points, which is the straight line. You're getting there with a longer ball flight. So technically, the distance the ball travels is still the same at 142 going with a cut or going straight. It's just that you have to travel farther to get there. That's really it. It's not like it's this dramatic penalty for having an offset, which we used to think that's what it was, because there was a glitch in the swing that was causing it to drop dramatically. So we all had that theory built in for years that, oh, cut shots kill your distance by a ton. They really don't kill it by a ton. It's not even that much, to be honest with you. I'm just a dead man walking the night. Now, the one thing we didn't get out of that is the relationship for yards to miles per hour isn't a really good thing to look at. I mean, we're just basically adding 2.5 yards on almost every shot based off of your miles per hour. And that'll go by those club groupings, because as you go down, it's like for all the woods, it's about 2.5 miles per hour yards. Yeah, it actually does. Yesterday, after getting done, I had nothing left, John. And that was really one of the worst things with the worst pains, too, was the throat. But, I mean, my cut's already healing up. We're feeling good with it. We're good. Out of your mind. Ah, good. Thank you. Yeah, the singing's always going to be there. But that's because I sing as if nobody's listening. That's the key. In life, that's all you got to do. Dance like no one's watching, sing like nobody's listening, and masturbate like there's somebody else in the room. No, wait. I don't remember that last one. Something like that, though, right? Oh, we forgot the high. Right, it is something like that. Jerk off like you're in a crowd. It's that. That's got to be the last part of it. I need a water. I'll be right there. Hey, Andrew, how you doing, sir? Hey, where am I? Oh, son of... Ow! Bang my head a little bit. All right, let's see if we can come back and win this. Let's try to win the rest of these for the day. Now, am I going to use a high tee here? If I wasn't paying for it, yes. If not, no. Why bother? Why give them the 3 cents? Fuck you, IT. I'm not giving you 3 cents today. You're dead to me. Oh. 12 inches. I just can't sing for as long periods of times, Johnny. Oh, 327. Wow. Rattlesnakes, condoms, and this pin location with this win. What are things I don't fuck with for 1,000, Alex? Now I get a straight chip. Wow, how the fuck? Come on. That's to the left? And that right one played... Ah, shit. I should have had that. But by doing that, guess what? That puts me back in the lead. Yes, sir. Guys, that sand trap's a great layup spot. All right, we want to get this ball way left. Now, here's the problem here. If I cut this too much, I'm going to end up in that water. I don't think it's getting to it, though, which is fine. Oh, look at that. Butter. That's just fucking butter. It's like biscuits. Oh, sexy, sexy. We need some points. We don't have Julio to outpoint us these last couple. All right, 220. We got a 230 to 25-yard club with 6. Okay, so now I'm giving it 2 yards per miles per hour, pretty much about that, 1.5 yards. So technically 12 yards to this, add 12 to my 225. It's 237. I don't like this. I don't want to hit that. We're going to hit this club. We're going to fat of the green it. Give myself a putt. If somebody points this to beat me, more power to you. I'm not going to lose on that, though. And the storms are good, the rest don't matter. Man, there ain't a crack in the foundation. So do I like country music if I like Maren Morris? I don't know. Is that a thing? Do I have to be a country fan? Because I like her. All right. Another one. We got a big outwind. I really want to have the lowest trajectory club coming in, which would be the 8.5. Now, where that pin is, there's not a lot of green to land on, and if I hit the 8.5, it's still going to bounce forward pretty far, so I bring the back wall into play. So I'm going to put this in a position where I can go up the chute, up the dead center chute. So I'm actually going to move this ball way to the right, but I don't want to be in the dirt. So we'll just go on this line. So now my line at the pin, I can actually go up down the middle more. So now I just flip it, push it to the left. Oh my God, is it going to hit? No. Oh, that's bad. This is a water putt if I've ever seen one. Let's make it, though. Woo! Saves the day. Yay, me. Yeah, I'm right with you, Rick. I would love to see Garth in concert. And I'm not a huge fan, but all of his songs, his good songs are good songs, right? And he puts on a show. The rest don't matter. I gotta say, being only like 11 days out of back surgery and still playing Golden Tee and actually not playing that poorly, I gotta say, I've taken a little bit of pride in my game and myself. Now that just doesn't make sense. That's dead straight. I must have moved it when I pulled it back. I must have moved it farther right than I thought. And when our house oh well, we stay good. The house don't fall with the bones are good. There's another thing too, you guys. I don't know if you're cognizant of that. Oh my god, I thought I high-teed that. Whoops. That's as close as that distance is as close to as a putt that will roll over because of just distance. That you'll see. No, I couldn't do it. If I'm going to do something on a tablet, I'll play fucking Candy Crush or I'll be playing PS4. Mobile just doesn't do it. Oh, she's solid. But I'm a big Idol fan. Like, American Idol, I'm loving it. I love it, man. I cry a couple times a show. I'm a big sissy dick. So the thing I was going to say, hey, Austin, about when you're playing old courses, it says 137 from here. I'm going to move it all the way back. It's still going to say 137. It still hasn't been dealt with. I'm not that concerned about it, but it is a thing. You got to be careful of it. On your newer courses, shit. That was greed and stupid. This is going to be one of those times I really wish I had a lob wedge. Well, now in order to get that one up, for some reason, when you're doing those short shots out of stuff, the farther you pull back to eat, the quicker it gets up in the air. It's just hard to control the speed on those. We'll fix it, though. Missing one on a par 3. It's still going. We're going to still get this. Oh, shit. Well, thank God, Austin. I'll look forward to it. If you need any invites or anything, you send it away. And that goes for anybody here. If you guys want to see a course played, you're having struggles with it, just denote it, something in the title, send me an invite. Put that you want to see it, or like put stream or something like that in, and I'm going to do my damnedest to get it on the stream and play it live with you guys. I don't care if you play it before or after. It's not about that. And I'm sure if somebody's having a question on a course, especially older ones, you're probably not the only one, so it's going to help everybody. So go ahead, shoot them out. I'll accept everything. All right, so moving this tee to the left isn't going to make it any easier to play the wind because I got to go further than the outside edge with the 9. So I'm just going to thumb it and play with my thumbs. Because why waste a tee on something that the tee is doing no benefit for me on? I was going to call the backspin green back wall and back in. Well, what I've learned is that the big thing that I'm taking out of this, the rest of it, my feel kind of already had a feel for whether or not I actually saw it defined with numbers. But the thing I never knew for certain, yeah, Patrick, guys, I'm going to tell you right now, and this is me not seeing them or playing them yet. I know this year's courses are going to be some of the best we've ever had. Yeah, let's just, it doesn't have to be about winning or losing on these, man. We're going to use these times to really benefit, get people skills, man. If you guys are getting better, it's making me happy. Hey, Jason. But the biggest thing is the pullback, whether it's a pullback 123 or a no pullback 123, it's the same exact distance. That's the biggest thing I took out of the testing today. And then really the one that where roll will actually make a club at, once you're at the 7-iron level, a high T7 will go further with, will land further with roll than it would with backspin, which is a little crazy, right? It doesn't sound right, but it is right if we think about it. And that was one of those things, though, that whether I knew it for certain, I had the feel about something like that. But if anybody, I'm going to put it in there one more time. If anybody wants to look at this spreadsheet to kind of get a feel about what we were doing, and hopefully just that spreadsheet, the numbers that you're seeing in there will give you a better idea. No, you're good, dude. You can. Donations are always great, but getting more content is great too, you know? That's why I'm really excited about next year, with 2022, having more game modes on the home edition. Yeah, the 7 iron's where it changes, but that's also with no wind too. So when does it happen with wind? And what wind miles per hour? That's going to be stuff that the feel's going to come in on. Yeah, I'm always taking donations though, Bama. Physical donations to either gt.live/tip-the-mouth or to my Venmo and PayPal directly, or even Zelle. Those are always better because then I don't have any rigmarole getting it out and getting it into the real world. Way down. Yep. Oh, shoot. South Bend, Indiana's on pace. He's got me. Oh, it's already out, Tony. You missed out. The pre-order's up. So go to store.itsgames.com and you can do the order now. I think that the lower price is still there. They were doing it for like 25% off, it seemed. Oh, we don't want to hit that. Do we have a line? We do. Luckily, we're good. We're going to go from this line. Now, heavy rough. I'm going to play the club that goes the right distance. That's this. All right, so Bama. I'll give you the lowdown on this completely. So, with the PGA Tour contract, PGA Tour has the licensing rights to a whole bunch of different courses, right? I don't know, man. We just moist sounds funny. It's good. It came alive one day. But back to your question. So anything with the TPC name on it, they have rights to use those courses now with their partnership with PGA Tour. There are a few other courses that aren't called TPC that they have, and roughly, I think Adam told me it was about 100 to 120 courses they've got. They can use at any time and are readily available for them. It also gives them the right to talk to specific courses that have their own licensing rights. So you would need to have both rights, whether it's Augusta allowing you to use it as well as the tour. They have the tour side. They'd have to speak to Augusta personally to be able to use it, just like some of the courses in England, or like you're looking at St. Andrews, right? That's the same kind of thing. They need to get the exact licensing rights from the individual course. There have been talks with those courses already. I don't know I'm not privy to anything further. Those are the kind of things you want to keep under wraps, because that's a hell of a thing to, if you know Augusta's coming one of these years, it's one of those things that will drive gameplay, obviously. I don't care how easy the courses are. Everybody's going to want to play it, or Pebble Beach, yada, yada, yada. But they have the right now to negotiate with any of these other places to get the courses, which is cool. And when I say this, I know for a fact that they are already in talks to getting some courses. What courses? I'm not going to tell you. No offense. Can't do it. That's stuff that's said to me in confidence. I knew I was going to do that. Yeah, that wind got me there. I overhit it. All right, can we save this? I think we can. I had a shirt that just says moist on it. You know, there's one thing that people think that word is so wrong and dirty. And I had a shirt with it on it. And it just seemed, we just went with moisture. I did not win that. He's going to beat me on 18. That was not my best. Oh, Aljaz has got this one. Aljaz could blow it, though. I know his game. He's all set to blow, baby. All right, we're going until the wife gets home. That's coming up pretty soon. We did talk to her a little bit ago. I've always had the thoughts of it, dude. I don't have the creative genetics in me to come up with cool shit. Wow, that was bad. Wish I had a sandwich here. I think that chip was perfect. I don't think I was making it with that. You know what? I meant to low T that, and I don't think I did low T it. I think that's where my issue was. That's okay. We're going to make a comeback and win this bad boy. Yeah. Well, she knows that it has to be up on her a bit because I don't do DoorDash and shit, and we're more of the type to buy groceries individually for what we're making. Well, I can't drive right now because of the neck shit. So she knows that she has to have a larger portion of dinner. One of these days, she'll just surprise me and bring it home with her. I mean, you know, instead of getting home and saying, I'm starving. And I'm like, well, what do you want? I have no idea. And that whole meme talking about the hardest part of every relationship is figuring out what you're going to eat every day. It's kind of fucking true. Guys, she heard all of that. Uh-oh, we're taking the headphones out. We have to focus on her. Hi. Did you hear the talk that we were just having?
I was going to say it anyway.
Well, cool. Go up there and make us something for dinner. Now keep that look and show them.
I don't have a look.
You do have a look. It's pretty good. That was the question up there. Well, you get the look if you ask her what's for supper. Well, I know. Are you tired?
Yeah.
You've been running through my mind all day. That's why. What? Oh, guys, that makes you miss. I'm not going to shoot well this show. This isn't good. We're not doing well. We're focusing on the wife too much. Here come the dogs now. They're not interested in me. Only interested in me when I'm feeding them lately. There's Clifford.
How?
I gotta give her absolute credit. She's taken a liking, not a liking, but she's very not forgiving and about me dedicating as much time to you guys as I do. I think it gives her time for herself too. Jill, are we gonna play Tiny Tina tonight?
This is us.
Oh yeah, it's 2 Cry Tuesday. Well, 1 Cry Tuesday now. Lucy, go get your mother.
No.
All right, we're gonna make this. No, we're not. Ugh. Thumbs just aren't working in coordination. We have 2 beagles. We don't want German Shepherds.
I like German Shepherd.
I bet you do.
Kilo was part German Shepherd.
Yeah. No, we can't do that. We already did Portillo's. We did Portillo's once. Yeah, we're going to DNF this game and deal with her. I'm already 2 off, now 4. If I make this... What?
Is it my fault?
It's not. I mean, it kind of is, but not really. Yeah, we're going to go. So, we're going to DNF it. Guys, thank you guys for helping out with the testing today. We got a lot of goodies in there. Like I said, I put the link to the spreadsheet in the chat. Maybe I'll make a post. Maybe I should start linking you guys off all these different spreadsheets that I've got. Because as much as we don't fill it, yeah, whenever I go to a tournament, she magically has that thing they call 5 guys.
I do not.
Yeah.
I do not. I have Jack's Pizza.
She has Jack instead. Wow.
And mac and cheese. Shells and cheese.
Mac and cheese? Oh my God. You should just go hang out with Jason Lachavo at tournament.
Is that what he has?
He's a mac and cheese fanatic.
I love it.
No, like all different kinds of mac and cheeses. But, yeah, we're going to leave it off. We're going to cut it off. We're going to eat dinner. We're going to be back tomorrow night at 8. I'm going to make that time period. And I'm really sorry about not being as regular with the times lately. I hope you guys understand. It's just not as easy to be precise or punctual when you're fucking hopped up on pills and you're hurting. So with all that, though, once again, thanks, everybody. Word About's going to end for today, and we'll see you guys tomorrow at 8 p.m. Central. Thanks a lot, and have a good evening. A good evening.